Welcome to the fastest 2 hours in radio.
Rules in action. It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them. Follow.
All systems go.
The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust, Chris Knight, and Eric Johnson. The Morning Edge starts now.
I got a question for you.
How are you at trivia?
Would you like to hear some trivia?
What? Why would you ask me that?
It's Trivia Tuesday! Today, January 4th, is National Trivia Day.
Okay, Trivia Meisters.
Oh, look! It's our trivia buddy.
I love trivia.
You love trivia.
All this knowledge exploding inside my brain. I don't know what to do with it.
But you don't know everything.
It's trivia.
No. It's showtime.
I was wondering, man, I would have won a lot of money had I been able to bet if you were going to
Do what?
play some music that was trivia related and sounded kind of holiday trivia. It's like you got this new app or you found some new site where it puts a holiday spin on all music or jingles.
You like that? Isn't that cool?
And of course, it upsets the musician or the guy that acts like he's a musician, Eric Johnson, who'll be here in just a little bit. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Appreciate everybody joining us on this Tuesday morning, January 4th. The time is 8:05. It's a little warmer today, right, than it was yesterday?
I see a lot warmer.
Yeah, it's going to get up to, I think, about 40 today. And then, of course, by Wednesday night into Thursday, single digits. Maybe, I said maybe a little snow. By the way, could we text Dave Murray? I know he's 2 hours behind us and it's only 6:05, but when people get older and they retire, they get up early, right?
I think so.
Don't
I
they?
did text him, but we'll see.
All right.
I don't know if Dave's getting up that early.
No, I'd like to talk to, I know I'd like to talk to him about the motorists being stranded for 10 to 15 hours on I-95 in Virginia. Are you kidding me? Now, I've been in a situation one time before I was in Detroit where I had to sit for like 2 hours, and it scared the hell out of me because I didn't know how long I was going to be there because of a storm. But you're talking about people stuck on highways. And we've heard and seen stories of this happening before where people just abandon their vehicles. Or you just pull over and because you can't drive anymore because of ice, because of snow, because of winter conditions, you name it. All of that stuff is going on, but I was hoping we might be able to talk to Dave about how serious that storm is there. By the way, thanks for joining us this morning. As always, you can join the show as you do. Phone number 636-695-2915. 636-695-2915. Of course, Facebook is there for you all the time. 100.7 The Viper. Love it when you share the show as well. The fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. You can always catch us at viperrocks.com. Another opportunity for you to check things out. All right. We might have seen one of the best quarterbacks of all time play an NFL game last night, Ben Roethlisberger for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know we have a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there. We had one of their owners on before we hit the holiday break, Brian Rooney. So not that this is a sports show, but Ben Roethlisberger, I think, played his last game in Pittsburgh last night. So it is a current event. So what a career Ben Roethlisberger had, that's for sure. Coming up Miami of Ohio, of all places.
Wow.
Yeah, he finished, I think, 8th all time in touchdowns, 5th in passing yards, won 2 Super Bowls, went to another one, Hall of Famer. I was never a huge Steelers fan, but the guy is a Hall of Famer. So congrats to Ben. Blues get back to action tomorrow night. Did you watch any news yesterday, Chris? You see all these headlines? It's all COVID again.
COVID everywhere.
Everywhere. Testing sites inundated. And when I say inundated, I mean inundated. 300 at one site, 400 at another. Another one shut off at 700 in the Illinois side over in St. Clair, Illinois. Then you started to tell me about another testing site. What was your experience?
I didn't go to the testing site, but I heard that the testing site in Winfield, Missouri closed last
Where's
Wednesday.
Winfield? I never heard of Winfield.
It's this little bitty town
Winfield.
in Lincoln County.
Lincoln County. Where's Lincoln County?
I don't know. Somewhere north,
Like north, like by Kirksville, north?
like the North Pole.
Oh, okay. Winfield.
That's right. So the reason they closed down,
You get a couple hundred people into Winfield.
That's
Holy
right.
moly. You better
it's a
look out.
busy day.
But on a serious note, hundreds of people really coming in to test?
Yeah, apparently hundreds of people were coming in. They weren't being too nice because the lines were very long, and so the city decided to just shut it down because it was becoming a problem.
There was a testing site in Kirkwood on Lindbergh. They literally had 300 cars backed up down Lindbergh yesterday as well. I mean, that just gives you the idea. The Metro East, I use the word inundated, overrun, people trying to test. And from what we understand, people who are fully vaccinated testing again as well right now. So that's what you've got going on. When it comes to the COVID situation, the hospitalizations yesterday were over 900. The death toll averaging just under 10 a day, which is much lower than where it was in the height of the pandemic when you had as many hospitalizations as now. About 34% of all hospitalizations are fully vaccinated people. That's a little bit of a concern because it's continued to go up from where it was most of the time at 16%. And, you know, that's the big story. It's still a big story around here. The good news, once again, is, though, that there hasn't been a lagging factor when it comes to death. And we're also being told now, did you hear about this? I saw this over the weekend before we came in. And I don't want conspiracy theorists to go crazy yet. Now there's flu-rona.
Flu-rona?
Oh, yeah. Now, you can have the flu and you can have COVID at the same time.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we try to have fun on the show. Quote, first case detected in Israel. Of course, this has always happened in another country, somewhere else.
Yeah, why does all this stuff always pop up in other countries?
Well, flu-rona. Now, apparently, this comes from a pregnant, unvaccinated woman. So you can have the flu and you can have corona, which means they're the same thing pretty much.
She was pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why it's the flu-rona.
Well, I mean, it's the whole situation of what's flu, what's not. Is COVID really the flu? Is it just a more serious flu? I mean, I had another doctor yesterday, a friend of mine, tell me what he has seen with Omicron is that it is it's just a bad cold because it's not really affecting people. And keep in mind, of all the worldwide deaths we had and nationwide deaths we had up until 2 years ago with flu, and then flu all of a sudden disappeared. We were told the flu disappeared because we were social distancing and washing our hands. Now we're told flu is back this year, and all of a sudden cases have gone up with COVID. I mean, I just use your own brain, use your own brain. Protect yourself. Do whatever you want to do. That's where you're going from all of those situations. So we will see. But just keep in mind, remember, when we went and got our vaccines, we were all told, hey, you're not going to get COVID anymore. Now the total is up to about 34% of people getting COVID who are fully vaccinated and boosters and everything else. So Jeannie from the Fed just looked down. Jeannie looks down. Yeah, there's a stomach virus going around too. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. I think I had that over my break as well. So anyway, there you go. How fun is that this morning? We are efforting, by the way, Dave Murray to talk about that weather situation in Virginia as well. Chris, I was curious, and coming up at 8:30, we're going to talk with Scott Vaughn from the Missouri Times. New lines were drawn yesterday. Republicans are pissed at Republicans, very pissed at Republicans because...
In Missouri?
Yeah, because Some Republicans are saying other Republicans are giving in to Democrats, where they say Democrats won't give in to Republicans if they were in the same situation. And it's about districting lines for the state and how they feel that Republicans have now opened up the gates for Democrats to take over this red state that Missouri currently is because of how they agreed to draw the lines. So, there's always something, isn't there? There's always something. The winning Powerball ticket apparently was drawn last night, but I can't find who won it or what state it came from or if there multiple winners. The cash option drawing was $384 million. But still too soon, I guess, to find out where the ticket was purchased. So
I got it.
Where was it?
It's in my pocket.
Oh, you got it. Are you one of those people that buys a ticket then doesn't check for a while?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got a feeling it's in my pocket. I've got the winner. Seriously?
I wish. But I thought I saw on TV that there was no ticket. I heard it was going to go up again. So there was a ticket that was bought, huh?
Powerball jackpot. This is, what's today, January 4th? Jumps to $575 million for the January 5th. 3 winning tickets claimed millions of dollars. So there wasn't a winner again.
Okay. That's what I thought.
So the cash option right now, if it doesn't go up anymore, is going to be over $400 million. You had 3 $1 million winning tickets where you match 5 white balls. The tickets were sold in Connecticut and Texas, and then there was one in Montana. So yeah, the Powerball situation still going on. As I look down to the line, Jerry Mitchell says Republicans are spineless. So I'm assuming he is a guy who sides with Republicans, pissed at Republicans for, I guess, giving in is what they say. But let's see where this Flurona goes, because the doctors in Israel say, quote, the disease is the same. They're viral, and they cause difficulty breathing since both attack the upper respiratory tract. How long? We've always talked and joked and tried to have fun on the show and kind of be ahead of the game. Is this going to be a story at some point? Flu-rona? Oh, what do you got? I got flu. I got Rona. I got flu-rona. I don't know. It might be happening. And then we've talked about the pandemic. Is it an endemic? Now, will you have a twindemic? Flu and COVID, where everybody has to worry about flu and COVID. Once again, keep yourself as healthy as possible, and then you go from there. We've also got news coming out. Chris, I don't know if you... Well, it's 8-6. Man. Could you pull up Andy Cohen? Remember you ran Andy Cohen yesterday. Well, Andy Cohen, he got blitzed New Year's Eve. You know, a lot of people do. You're just having fun. Except you don't want to get blitzed and be on a worldwide television station, because CNN probably has their highest ratings when it is New Year's Eve. And Andy Cohen was on there ripping Bill de Blasio. We played the sound for you yesterday. We'll play it again. Well, he did come out and apologize. Yeah, as of yesterday, he hadn't. But he says his only regret was calling out. He made fun of Ryan Seacrest in his show. But the sound that we do have is him ripping New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, or former Mayor Bill de Blasio. Here's that sound.
De Blasio. Don't go on a rant.
Do his
Don't go on a rant.
victory lap dance after 4 years of the crappiest term as the mayor of New York. The only thing that Democrats and Republicans can agree on is what a horrible mayor he has been.
Wow.
So, sayonara, sucker.
Wow.
2022. It's a new year. Because guess what? I have a feeling I'm going to be standing right here next year. And you know who I'm not going to be looking at? Dancing as the city comes apart. You.
Damn.
Buzzed, losing his voice.
I would say a little more than buzzed.
Well, alcohol affects people in different ways. Some people drink to get mean. Some people drink to get happy.
I'm a lover.
Some people.
What are you?
I'm nothing. I don't drink.
Oh, Vic, you can only ride this neutral line so long. You don't drink.
I was just teasing.
What are you? Are you a lover? Are you mean?
Nothing. No, I'm never mean.
What are you?
Chris, the third member of the show walks in late all the time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we just hear him say, "How come I feel like crap today?" What is he doing?
Drew Collins says you're a hammer.
He's hammer? Oh, he's hammered.
Right.
He might meant Andy Cohen.
Yes.
No, so anyway, Andy obviously
hammered.
Andy got very flamboyant. He got very excited. He was excitable. He liked to push the stuff forward.
Thanks, John Parker.
Anyway,
shot.
So Andy Cohen, shots are one of the worst things ever created. Ever.
I love them.
Ever. I know you're a shot guy. You're a Patron guy. I know. I found that out firsthand a long time ago. But
you did.
I had to say, no, Chris, that's all right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I don't need any of those shots. Anyway, shots are bad. What is the point of a shot?
Shots are great.
What is the point of a shot? Oh my God. You come in today. You sound like Andy Cohen. You look like a drunk. I feel bad today. Did you go drinking last night? Did you go do shots again last night?
I didn't. Here's the deal. It's New Year's Eve. When you get drunk, your true self kind of comes out. Look, he's a flamboyant St. Louis gay dude. What do you think is going to come out when you get drunk? When I get drunk, I become like, Van Halen's the best band of all time. No, screw you. They're better than Zeppelins. That's what comes out. You have to realize that. I think it's fun watching CNN on New Year's Eve. I do. I'm sorry. I think they suck. They're horrible. I think they're crap. But I love watching the crap hit the fan, man. And when he comes out and he does all that flamboyant, show tunes, gay stuff, I'd laugh my ass off. So I have no problem with it. Dude, I can't wait to see it next year.
You know who I feel sorry for? You know what? You and I, it's like on this radio show. I feel like Anderson Cooper, and I feel like you're Andy Cohen. Like you're going off the rails all the time.
Oh, crap.
And I'm Anderson Cooper.
You're Anderson Cooper in the background?
And I'm trying to keep it all together. And I'm trying to keep everything and to keep the show moving forward. And you're the train wreck that's going off the tracks.
I can see that, I guess. I guess my voice is a little
Give
lower.
me my shots. Where are my shots?
Dude,
Bill de Blasio.
Here's one thing.
Sayonara, sucker.
Here's one thing you've missed around here. And you have missed it. This is now Christmas party 2 that we have not had here at the Viper. This guy right here.
Just avoided it.
This guy right here in the light blue shirt, Chris, is the king, hands down, of shots. He does. There's not even a close second.
Yeah, I know what shots are for. Cindy says they're to get you drunk faster. I know.
They're fun. It's fun. But
who doesn't drink shots and feel it the next day?
Look, here's the deal.
Why drink shots to make yourself feel like crap?
There's
for the
an
next
art.
day?
There's an art to it. There is an art.
There's an art to doing shots?
Yes.
Okay.
You need to know your limit.
I am all ears, my friend.
Like in PRL shows, I'm going to go back to I'm going to go do some little PRLing. At the beginning of a PRL show, you know that you can get away with 2 fireballs, right? And then they hand you a beer, and you're like, okay, I'm cool for this first set. If you get another fireball in that first set, you're like, okay, I got to be very careful now. You get 2 fireballs, you're done.
How do you play? How do you have hand dexterity? Play a bass?
Well, no, the bass is nothing. The bass is like the bass.
But your fingers start to get numb. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, bass is like tambourine with strings. It's really simple. It's not a very hard instrument. But singers, man, I've heard some singers where I'm like, it is really talented to be able to sing an entire song half flat the entire.
Oh my God!
So
in half hammer.
Yeah, but it goes with everybody. I don't care what you are. If you go to your Christmas party, your office Christmas party, you need to know your limit. Do not butt up to that limit because everything past the limit is just embarrassment.
I know.
It's just embarrassment. That's all it is. But it's fun for the other people watching the train wreck.
But I get letting your hair down every now and then. I do get it. I've done that.
Yeah, and there are some times when you go
and
into...
I've had people get upset that I let my hair down.
And there's sometimes when you go into a situation, say we go to Vegas, and you just have to do a global apology before you go into the Bellagio. Vic, I'm sorry what's about to happen. And you just need to know, I'm going past my limit.
Oh, my God.
You need to know those nights, too, right?
From the Facebook Live, somebody said, because we had asked how people get when they drink. I mean, I said, some people get mean, some people get happy, some people get chatty.
Yes.
This person says, I have a friend who cries when she gets drunk.
Yes! Yes!
The crier.
Yes, the crier. Yes. Whatever your true self is going to come out. It is going to come out. If you're a fighter, if you like to fight with people, you're fighting.
If I drink, I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm like, Chris says he's a lover. I'm just, I don't know what that means. I don't need to know, Chris. You said you're a lover. That's fine.
I'm just not mean.
All right. No, I'm happy.
Me too.
We had a guitar player in the old days.
Where are you going?
I had a guitar player in the old days. Whenever he would get drunk, we would end up seeing guitars in the wall. He would throw his guitars through the wall. He would get so mean and drunk. You would walk into the backstage area, and there would be a guitar sticking into the wall. You just need to know what your limit is. Mine is I like to fight about music. I like to tell kids
you fight about music when you're sober and here with me about Van Halen.
I know, but there's no way you're going to win a fight about Lizzo being better than Van Halen. It's just not going to happen.
Chris, what are we going to do? Is that our guest? We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Hey, a lot of Republicans upset in the state of Missouri, feeling that other Republicans have given in when it comes to districting throughout the state. We're going to talk with our good friend because we like to have fun on the show. It's always good comedy with Scott Vaughn. Scott Vaughn, the self-described hillbilly politician or guy that covers politics, is joining us right after the end of this
I'm
break.
still embarrassed about things I did 10 years ago drunk.
We'll continue to talk about those.
20 years ago.
Please feel free to share. Anybody. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Vic Faust from Fox 2. ViperRocks.com. On Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show. Back with more right after this.
Edge Morning Traffic.
Good morning from the Viper Traffic Center. Watch for lane restrictions Highway Y in Winfield, just west of Cardinal Hill Road. Westbound Highway Y is currently closed. Crews are battling a house fire in the area. Some slowing of traffic eastbound 64 out of Lake St. Louis. Moving again at 364, then hitting the brakes approaching Highway K. 70 drivers are smooth sailing from Wentzville over to the Blanchette Bridge. Some eastbound slowing, 70 near Lambert International Airport, and another morning of canceled flights. A handful of canceled flights between now and noon. I'm Fox News' Molly Rose. That's your Edge Morning Traffic.
Listen to the Edge Morning Show live. Watch it live or anytime on demand. Details at ViperRocks.com or on Facebook.
Don't let a wet basement or foundation problems destroy the value of your property. Get a free estimate from Woods Basement Systems to fix the wall crack, bowing wall, and leaks and restore the value of your home. Plus, get the security of the Woods Basement Systems transferable warranty. Call Woods, the highest rated, most reviewed contractor for all things basementy at 888-900-1721. Special offer online at viperbasements.com. That's viperbasements.com.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
If you have a calling to serve people in your community and help bring about positive change, come join us. Compass Health Network is currently hiring for multiple positions. We serve communities in 46 counties across Missouri and have a place for you. If you are a licensed therapist, nurse, integrated health specialist, dental assistant, office manager, or IT specialist, Compass Health Network offers a supportive work environment and great benefits. Find out more at careers.compasshealthnetwork.org.
Hi, my name is Ted, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Shake is when the peppermint shake is available, that's to me sort of announces that the holiday season is here. I guess most people count down the days until Christmas, but me, I count down the days until the shake comes out.
Hi, I'm Michaela, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is that first sip when you taste the peppermint chip pieces, it's like catching snowflakes on your tongue.
Share a peppermint chip milkshake from Chick-fil-A this holiday. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters carries a full line of automotive parts and paints. They're a PPG Platinum distributor of automotive paint and industrial coatings and auto body shop supplies. For over 40 years, your hometown auto parts store is Midnight Auto. Stop in at Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters, just off Mexico Road, 447-4000, 447-4000, on the web at mid-niteautosupply.com.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long. So when you become a Pro Loyalty member, now through November 24th, you'll get a welcome kit via mail, Lowe's bucket included. It's all part of Provember, going on online and in stores. Lowe's, the new home for pros. New accounts only. More terms and conditions apply while supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/ProLoyalty for details. U.S. only.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. You can catch us at ViperRocks.com. You can also join us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. By the way, before we get to Scott Vaughn from the Missouri Times, Chris, you want to guess what Andy Cohen was drinking, which got him so lit?
Probably Patron.
You said Patron. Yeah, but you told me before Patron doesn't get you as drunk and you feel better the next day.
No, I didn't know that.
Then you told that
what
it was.
I told
you
was is if you drank Patron and you catch a nice buzz, or if you even get perhaps hammered,
yeah,
you don't have a hangover like all hell the next day.
Okay,
that's what I told you.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Vodka.
Yeah,
had to be vodka then.
No, Joyce's vodka.
I think no. I think what Andy Cohen was
Chris
drinking.
kind of wins.
Tequila.
Tequila
Isn't that what Patron is?
Yeah, it's a different.
Just top shelf tequila, right?
Yeah, but
okay. I should know this.
Yeah, I just think like, well,
you don't like Patron?
No, I'm just not a tequila guy.
We can do a whole show on
Patron,
shots.
what are
someday.
you, like strawberry daiquiri type?
Yeah, you already, yeah. Frozen.
You gonna take that from him?
Yeah, but you know what? I am who I am. I don't care.
I don't. Hey,
just like
do whatever floats your boat, man.
Scott Vaughn with the Missouri Times calls himself a hillbilly all the time, and you know
And
what?
he drinks Appletines.
And he drinks his Anheuser-Busch, and that's all right, isn't
and only
it?
Anheuser-Busch. it's a high insult to send a hillbilly some kind of Miller Lite or Coors Light or
That's an
here at a
uppity
gay
beer,
bar,
you're
that's
right.
one thing, but
how about a
you just don't send
Cosmopolitan?
a hillbilly thing but Anheuser-Busch. And what, Eric?
What?
are you done with Vic Faust?
What?
Doesn't drink shots. The Vic Faust I know drinks shots two at a time.
Dude, Vic.
Jägermeister, 'cause
Look,
he's
Yeah, we're
German.
just not allowed to say that.
Yeah, he's so in the closet on everything, man. This guy is a partying fool. Trust me, we know.
TV's Vic Faust is a party animal. Radio's Vic Faust. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you guys are funny.
You know that's right.
Yeah,
he lets his hair down.
yeah,
in here
the
a
Vic
little
Faust who went out 0 times during his Christmas break. Yeah,
because you had so many
Vic,
parties
this
at your
weekend
house.
We're going out. Enough of this radio personality. I want TV Vic Faust, party animal.
Yes. Yes.
Scott
I want
remembers.
Andy Cohen Vic Faust. No more Anderson Cooper stuff you do on the radio.
Scott
I want
remembers the
Andy
old
Cohen
Vic Faust.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, I know there were some Republicans who might have been hitting the bottle last night, upset about.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
About
In Jeff City, there's so few things to do. You end up binge drinking and, because the and is always kind of lame, so you have to put binge drinking in. And I'm gonna tell you, this German liver got taxed last night. So I want to ask you a question real quick. My favorite type of drunk. So our buddy Ryan McKenna is the best dude in the world. He's my favorite person to really drink with because he gets sentimental, right? He's like,
Oh, the sentimental drunk.
Me and all that. I love it. He gets like the most sentimental stuff, and it's my favorite.
Yes. He sits in the corner. He's reminiscing about old times and how much better it was back then.
Put his arm around you and talk about how much you mean to him, and you just feel great.
When Reagan was in office.
He's a sentimental drinker, and I love it.
Yeah, I like those guys.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about the sentimental drinker. That's right. That is so
Well,
right.
McKenna.
What are you then, Scott?
Well, you know me. I like Jaeger. And so I do a Captain Diet 2 lines, Anheuser-Busch product, and also a Jaeger in there because I'm German. I just get happier.
Yes.
Really. I mean, I'm not
That's
mean
what I
drunk
said.
guy. I'm more happy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I'm a lot bigger jerk sober.
But
Drunk,
that being said, everybody on the planet will say the same thing. Oh, I'm a happy drunk. Nope, you're not. You are a mean ass drunk. Not you, but I'm just saying.
Nick has seen me with some alcohol in me. I think I qualify, and I'm happier the more I drink, and then I pass out.
Well, Scott, talking about your liver taking a test last night, let's get everybody up to date on what the hell has happened with districting in the state of Missouri, because I think it kind of went under the radar from a news standpoint yesterday, unless people are going and following it with all of the COVID talk and the weather, with it getting cold again.
Well, every 10 years, you know, they do the census, so they redraw the lines. And in Missouri, you know, there's no more Democrats to fight, so they fight. The Republicans fight each other. You had they come together. The state lines they try to draw them with some commissions of citizens. That never works because Republicans and Democrats won't agree. And the truth is, on those commissions, you would think it's Republicans versus Democrats. Republicans could generally agree because outstate's easy to draw. It's in the cities. The Democrats have lost population, and they don't want to draw districts that used to be. They don't want to take it from previously majority black districts to not majority black districts, even though you're going to have to. It's a math equation. You will have fewer majority minority districts because the population has moved after St. Charles County, I guess, if I'm looking at the maps. So those are really Democrat on Democrat issues. But for the congressional districts, they're drawn by the state legislature. And you know, we've had 2 Democrats since Russ Carnahan district was drawn out. He was the 3rd Democrat, the old Gephardt district. We lost the seat because the state lost population. So they're fighting. Some Republicans want to say, okay, it was 6-2 before. Let's make Ann Wagner's district more safe and have a 6-2 map that we know will have 6 Republicans for the next 10 years. There's other Republicans that say, let's get greedy. Let's get Illinois. You know, Illinois with Illinois, or however they say Illinois, and drew this ridiculous, stupid map to favor Democrats, blatantly corrupt. Nobody, not even your most partisan Democrat, would say this isn't just clearly wrong and bull, but they did it anyway. So the Republicans want to say, hey, if Illinois took 2 Republicans, let's take a Democrat seat. And if you draw Kansas City, you essentially start at the plaza and draw 3 districts sprawling from the plaza. One would go all the way to Hannibal. The other 2 would go out through the middle of the state. You could draw 7 districts that, frankly, in 2022 would elect a Republican by 15 points. Now, you would probably have elected 7 Republicans the last 10 years for sure, since 2010. Some of us are old enough and have had enough shots that had not had too many shots, I should say, where our brains can still function and remember. We had in 06 and 08 were good years for Democrats. The Iraq War, the end of the Bush presidency. In those years, you would have had probably a very hard time electing 7. Under this plan, you might have only elected 5. So basically, the Republicans want everybody to have a little less safe district but pick up a seat. Some Republicans want to have 6 for sure, and that's kind of where it is.
It seems weird. It seems like they have the census, and you just take the census numbers and you figure out where everybody is, and that's how you would figure it out. This redistricting thing is very confusing to a lot of people. How does Missouri, in your opinion, how does Missouri look going into the next election cycle? How does it? What do you think is gained and what do you think is lost for Republicans?
In the 2022 cycle, if you look at Virginia, if you look at any polling, it's going to be a watershed year for Republicans. They're going to win every possible thing that's even contestable. there'll probably be some seats that they'll contest that they shouldn't win, that they'll do well in or even win. Look, I'm not your guy to argue if this is right or wrong, but when you have Democrats on there wanting to say their pronouns, that doesn't wash in New Mel, much less New Madrid, right? It just isn't. It
Right.
isn't how when you have little kids, 5-year-old kids, being forced to wear masks to school. There's just parts of the Democrat Party, and the truth is, they can win a majority in Congress, they can win the White House, and maybe a majority of the U.S. Senate with these very woke policies, and they raise a lot of money doing it. But you just cannot sell that in Jefferson County.
Right.
So they're good. Republicans are good, and I'll be candid with you. What you're seeing here, yes, does Bill Eigel, very influential state senator in his second term, does he believe you should send 7 Republicans? Yes. Does Caleb Rowden believe you should send 6 really solid Republicans for 10 years? Yes. But part of it's personal. And these guys, the Senate, everything's personal. There's a personal back and forth. And if you look at Senator Eigel's Facebook page, you could tell that, he calls the Senate Majority Leader a rhino. It is about more than just the fight of the day. It's about personalities, and I think that's how the founders set it up to be. And if they set it up to have very personal fights, they did a great job. It's working.
Hey, Scott, before we let you go this morning, what's on the agenda? What's the big deal for 2022 as state legislators got back to Jefferson City yesterday?
They have a ton of federal money they haven't spent, so they're going to have to spend this money. And, you'll see people criticize it, but you got 2 choices here, right? Missouri spends this money maybe in not the most efficient way, or they send it back to the federal government into California, who will spend it in an inefficient manner. So they've got to spend this money. It's all, being in politics is a lot more fun when you have money to spend. And so they'll spend the money. Then the redistricting, you got to keep in mind, it's not just the congressional one, because lots of people in the legislature think they could be a very good member of Congress. What I think you'll also see is when those state Senate lines get drawn, then it'll have House members against House members, maybe even senators drawn into the same districts. So you have a lot of personal, and people will be watching for that, and they'll stall most of the major bills until that's done. There's some ag tax credits that didn't get done last year that's going to be a big thing right out of the gate. And look, I think what you're going to see tomorrow at noon, I'll be sitting in the gallery myself. I would be surprised if you don't see Bob Onder, Bill Eigel go to the floor and talk about the map. Because here's in the Senate, you could talk about having a deal reached, but you have to have 34 people on board. Now, the Democrats under the 6-2 map are going to be real quiet because they don't want to see that other Democrat seat drawn out. So they'll probably not say anything. But the Republicans that have made noise, Senator Hoskins, others, I think they'll be extremely vocal. And I think they'll probably set the tone for that tomorrow at noon. It'll be, I guess that's what we'd say, high noon in the Missouri Senate.
I always wonder, I know we're getting ready. Answer this real fast. So back in the day, the metropolitan St. Louis area, metropolitan Kansas City area were big deals. Is that starting? Are we drawing down on that now and maybe looking more at St. Charles that are getting way more population centers? I mean, how does that work in our elections statewide and even the national elections? Is the metropolitan areas as big a deal anymore as it used to be?
No, it hasn't been. It's been declining for a long time. When St. Louis County, it was always Republican, and so the reason why you have a lot of attention in the metropolitan as well as they do is folks like Faust. People pay premium to be in his newscast because if you're going to watch the newscast, you're probably a voter, and people pay a lot of money. If it wasn't for the media, if you saw Fox 2's headquarters, you put in St. Charles, it would be an enormous sign of where things are going. But because it's just not competitive, and the rest of the state, it's just like national Democrats, they don't need Missouri for anything, so they just ignore us, and they do things that blatantly tick off Missouri voters. In the state, they don't need St. Louis anymore. So they just blatantly ignore them, or they do things that tick them off because they don't care. And St. Charles, I mean, it's sort of, if you got something bad to say about St. Louis, sit by a St. Charles guy. He wants to hear it. It's the same thing. I mean, you don't have to, the city and the county used to be the epicenter of everything in St. Louis City and County. Kansas City's always had a chip on their shoulder because they've been the little brother. But really, you don't need St. Louis City anymore at all. And really, St. Louis County is becoming less and less important just because it's a math thing. It's like if we owned a business, we put our marketing dollars where we could get the best return. you get the best return for a Republican, ginning up turnout in Jefferson County, St. Charles County, Franklin County, and then outstate, because they're all Republicans. And
Boy, it's
instead of
fascinating.
putting your money places where they're just not Republicans anymore, and you don't need them.
That was the best breakdown I've ever heard.
It is. Well,
it
it's and if you want the breakdown, you got to go to MissouriTimes.com. I'm not kidding you. It's the best. I mean, the best political publication you're going to find anywhere. I mean,
Or you got to go out this weekend with Fawn and Television's own Victor Faust.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding. Go to MissouriTimes.com right now. Check it out. It'll blow your mind how much is actually on there. You could do, a 30-minute show every day on that in the state of Missouri. I don't know who else has anything like that in other states as well, but we appreciate it. Scott, before you go, it's interesting. The last time we talked to you, Eric was just so infatuated with Ann Wagner's hair. Over the weekend, I got text messages from not Ann Wagner personally herself, but from her campaign. She's already started. Did you know about this? Or did you see those?
Well, is the campaign about people agreeing with me about her hair, or her actual campaign for Congress?
campaign for Congress. It looked like.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, Ann Wagner start the political campaign up already, but it got me thinking. I hope to God Ann Wagner did not get word of Eric talking about her hair last night.
Why has it got to be a bad thing? Glamour shots was an amazing thing back in the 80s. It was awesome.
I think what we should do is this weekend, I'm coming to St. Louis. We should absolutely load up and let's go visit with Ann. And I want Eric to ride with me. I'll pick him up in my truck because when we get back on the truck, he'll say, you know what, Fawn, you were right about it. That hair's not that bad.
I didn't say it was that bad.
No, Eric's an 80s guy.
I'm an 80s dude.
And he's talking about glamour shots. So I
will bring you a picture of the chick I went to prom with, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
Actually, we didn't need to see a picture of a girl. We just look at your pictures.
Amen.
Your centerfold.
I had Aquanet going on, too. I'm cool.
Scott, he had a centerfold where his hair was
Paul Berry's running against her, so that may be what that's about.
Oh.
Paul Berry, the guy that ran for some stuff locally there, he's announced he's going to run for Congress against Ann. So maybe that's what a little bit of that was.
Well, aesthetics have.
She probably won't pay him much attention, but
look, here's the deal.
But maybe that is why. But Eric, from the Facebook line, I just looked down. Somebody else said they got the same text that I did.
Fantastic.
If you live in Ann's district.
Fantastic. I think she looks stunning. She looks fantastic. She's glamorous. She's glamorous. I love it. In the sequins dresses. Oh my God, that was a good era. That was a good era, Vic.
I hear you. Hey, Scott, you're always a blast to have on. We appreciate it. Take care of that liver today.
Oh, it's going to need it. I'll give a plug. Liquid IV, little package you get.
Yes.
They do right by you. That's a good addition right there. Much appreciated by this hillbilly.
There's a lot of sugar in it.
Andy Cohen may have had a couple bottles of in that liquid IV.
Hey, have you ever?
He is great. That is the best show. I watch that show.
It is.
I'm old enough to be a dork and be at home. I actually love that show.
Have you ever met
I love
Andy?
him on that show too. They're great.
There's one night of the year where I don't care if CNN isn't the most wholesome thing on the planet. I don't want to watch Fox as they're with their kids and their families. I want to see Andy Cohen just go nuts on de Blasio. I'm all right with that.
I think you saw the last Andy Cohen
Wow.
CNN.
Please say you're lying.
That's a mistake.
But it might be a mistake.
Bravo, and I will watch Bravo. You can write that down.
He could be the host of ridiculousness.
You know what? That's a great call. He should do
be
his
on
own
Bravo.
New Year's Eve Bravo.
Yes.
You're right.
Well, you wouldn't watch it on Bravo because it belongs on Bravo. It doesn't belong on CNN. That's what makes it so amazing.
That's probably true too.
You know what
I
I mean?
actually watch CNN in the office. It's on in my office some, but I don't like Anderson Cooper. I like Anderson Cooper being a straight newsman. When he tries to do a liberal talk show, I just don't think it's very good. But I like Anderson Cooper, and I like how Andy makes him so uncomfortable.
You can tell.
I love their show. I love it, and if they don't have the two of them back on, they're just screwing themselves.
Scott, that's how before you came on the show, I compared myself and Eric to Anderson and Andy.
I know.
Because I feel like Anderson. I feel very uncomfortable with Eric. When
Then what is Chris? Then what is Chris?
He's the network. Chris is the network. He's CNN.
Scott, I'm calling the Anderson and Andy show. I love it.
I know.
It is very similar, and it is a good show.
Yes.
We have an update on that from the Facebook line. Melanie says CNN has forgiven Andy and said that he would be back next year.
Good. Fantastic.
Ratings, baby.
Best thing they've done all.
You have the top-rated newscast in St. Louis. Vic Faust can get away with more stuff than somebody else because
please.
Vic Faust is ratings. Therefore, Vic Faust could get drunk and tell up.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hardly.
Mike Bush is calling in to challenge that.
Bush better watch his P's and
Mike
Q's.
Bush isn't even out of bed yet. Mike doesn't
Mike
have
Bush better. He can't get away with what Vic can get away with.
No.
He's got to be more careful.
No, hell no. You're right.
Hey, Scott, we love it. We love you. Thanks again for your time, man. We appreciate it. Have a good day in Jeff City. Tell all of our friends up there we said hello.
About an hour when your morning show gets done, I'm going to get out of bed and I'll start doing that.
Okay. Scott, thanks again. We appreciate it. Scott Fallon with the MissouriTimes.com. Check it out. It's a terrific publication. Of course, we have a lot of fun with Scott as well.
He knows that. He's all-knowing.
No, there's nobody else that knows more about politics in the state of Missouri than Scott Fallon.
It's crazy.
And he does a terrific job of breaking it down from a Republican standpoint and a Democratic standpoint without taking sides.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to piss off both sides. I mean,
Well, I don't know.
He wants to.
There's people like myself and him that
But
don't
he's
want to. We don't want to
extremely
piss off anybody. We're just looking at
That's
what's right
me.
in front of us. We're looking at what's right in front of us, and we're just calling it what it is. Ann Wagner's hair, to some people, is glamour shots. I'm sorry, it is. It is. It's not supposed to be mean. It's just look.
No.
Hey, there was something really cool about that back in 1987.
Are you a Bachelor fan too?
I don't even know. I've
The
never seen The
Bachelor came
Bachelor.
back on.
Never.
He's a former
You
Missouri-
are a Bachelor fan. Dude, you are like the Bachelor incarnate over
Yes.
here. If I'm Van Halen, you are the Bachelor. All right?
Wait, who said you were Van Halen?
Me. I said I'm Van Halen.
Oh my God, you want to be.
They always go, what band did you used to be in? Instead of saying Shooting Star, I go, well, I was in Van Halen.
Now you're starting to remind me of the movie The Wedding
I'm
Singer.
obsessed. I'm obsessed. Best band of all time.
You're like,
Don't make me go
you're
off
like
on that
the movie
tangent.
The Wedding Singer.
Whatever. I haven't even seen that movie, but I'll take your word for it.
Adam Sandler?
It's
You never saw The Wedding
It's
Singer?
way more. Okay, yes, I am the wedding singer. That's it. I'm cool with that. I'm all right.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
But you are the Bachelor. I keep waiting for you to walk in with a rose and hand it to somebody.
Oh, there's really? Well, The Bachelor.
I could totally picture that.
Totally.
I could
With
totally
a
picture
bow
that.
tie
I
and
could.
a bottle of champagne in the other hand. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Be
Just-
what you are. Just be what you
Just
are.
a bow tie? I mean,
Ooh,
come on.
whoa! The Speedo.
Oh, mercy.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm
Eric,
done
where
with
have you
this.
got?
I'm done. I'm
You
done.
always take this down.
I'm done.
Anyway, The Bachelor, which has begun now, the new season. If you did, he's a former Mizzou football player from Eureka. So we'll see if the ratings spike in the St. Louis area. But that has now begun, and I think his name is Clayton, if I remember correctly. But he played tight end at Mizzou.
So did you.
He was just a lot younger.
Yeah.
He's just probably a lot bigger.
Yeah.
A lot better, a lot cooler.
Wow. Self-deprecating. Good for you.
Well, I'm honest. I mean,
Yeah, it sucks. It's good Gatorade on the bench, but
oh my God, Glenn Thompson chiming in, the Aquanet lady. Yep, I got
it's all right. Hey, you know what? If your policies are good and you're ugly or whatever, if you're gorgeous or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just do good things for the good cause, and we will not care what you look like. I don't give a damn what you look. Do the right thing. You like
Oh my
Aquanet?
God.
Fantastic. You like fake eyelashes? I have no problem with that. Just do the right thing.
It's to wrap up the Aquanet. So, when you guys were traveling in the heyday of hair bands,
Yes.
and you were a part of a hair band,
Yeah.
that actually had some
Yeah.
big hits.
Yeah.
Did you get how much? How did the hairspray thing go? I mean, was there just like a big duffel bag of hairspray bottles?
It was
Or
in the
did
same
you-
one with the
or did you guys-
toothpaste and
or
the.
did you guys all? Did you have
No.
your own?
No.
Were there hairspray fights?
No. Hairspray. It was a whole tour bus just devoted to Aquanet. No, it was. You had your little duffel bag. You threw it under the bus. You took the bag out from under the bus. You took the Aquanet out. Boom. You put it back in. You put your toothpaste back in, and you got on stage. That's how it worked.
So, like, if you ran out of eyeliner
I don't actually remember it being Aquanet. It's just kind of that was the one of choice if you wanted to stand straight up.
Would you guys share like, oh man, I'm out eyeliner. Can I get some eyeliner?
Oh yeah. Did you use eye black when you were in the locker room? Did you say, hey, can I use your eye black?
Yeah, there you go. That's
you
a good
did?
analogy.
No, of course
we're
you
going
wouldn't.
Into war.
Yeah,
you would.
You would? Hey, hand me that eye
but
black.
I don't know
that
if
stick.
but I don't know if sharing eyeliner is a good thing, even though I bring
It's a horrible thing. It's like it's disgusting.
You know, you tease me about this stuff, but you wore way more makeup than I've ever worn.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't wear. Well, yeah, about that. Look, it was a different time. It was a different era. It's something that I try to explain to my son. He just looks at me like I'm nuts.
Will the 80s and hair bands and hair and makeup ever come back?
Never. Now the glam thing might. I don't know.
And that kind of bums you out.
Does it bum me out? I just think music today is so boring. It's so boring that one day some kid in some garage is going to invent something that everybody goes, yes, this kicks ass again.
Yeah.
But it's not now.
Some of that Southern California alternative.
Yeah,
music
maybe. Could be from a different part of the world, man.
Joe said they had slap fights, Vic.
I don't know what a slap fight is. No, we didn't have slap fights.
All right, you're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Adam, Vic Faust, and Fox 2. Got to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll come right back. We'll set the stage again here for hour number 2, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. How about that? That's an hour done. Just like that, Eric. You ready for another hour?
Yeah, back to COVID.
You can explain what kind of a jacket you're wearing today.
It's a warm jacket is what it is. I don't know. It's like a biker jacket.
I was like, do you ride your motorcycle in today?
Yeah. It kind of confuses me because it zips on the wrong side.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I met a guy I've known a little bit. He was... we'll talk about it after the break. Let's just say he was in a biker gang for 10 years and never would have guessed it.
Really?
Clean cut.
Ooh, those are the ones you got to fear.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you don't want to... Yeah, don't get around those guys.
All right. Steel Dragons, rock.
Is that the name of the new USFL football team coming to St. Louis?
The Steel Dragons. I like that. All right. Don't go anywhere. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper. You can also catch us at ViperRocks.com. Back with more right after this.
Edge Morning Traffic.
Molly Rose joining you again from the Viper Traffic Center in Winfield. Still some lane restrictions in place on Highway Y. That's just west of Cardinal Hill Road after an earlier house fire. Crews do remain on that scene, and westbound Highway Y has been closed to traffic. Earlier delays eastbound 64 out of Lake St. Louis. Those have cleared up. And no problems taking Highway 61 through Winsville up through Troy. 364, 370, I-70 all on the move in St. Charles County. A crash on the shoulder northbound 55 near Butler Hill, and a stall reported 44 westbound past Hampton. Quiet on the 270, 255 loop from South County up through North County. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose, and that's your Edge Morning Traffic.
The Edge Morning Show. Back in a moment.
Happy holidays don't just happen on their own. You make them happen with a little help from new appliances at the Home Depot. Because warm wishes won't roast that turkey. You'll want a new convection oven for that. An air fryer will help make the season light and delicious. And while you're at it, consider a new LG or Samsung fridge that's big enough to hold all kinds of Christmas cheer. Make the holidays yours with the season's best savings on top appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
With everything going on today, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves. Compass Health Network is here to help. We provide a wide range of mental health, primary care, and dental services for the entire family. Whether you need to talk to a therapist, get a routine health checkup, or have a filling replaced, Compass Health Network is here for you in person or virtually. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment, or visit compasshealthnetwork.org for more information.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care: glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444, dryoureyes.com.
Viper Weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray with my latest forecast on this Tuesday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, windy. Today is the warmest day of the week, but it's still chilly, especially with the wind. 45 for the high. Tonight, a dry, cold front passes by. Very windy overnight. We could see some wind gusts pushing 40 miles per hour, partly cloudy and cold, 25. Wednesday, partly sunny skies, windy and very cold, 32. That's it for the high. Wednesday feels colder. Wednesday night, cloudy skies, light snow developing well after midnight, 15 for the low. Thursday, cloudy and cold with light snow for the most part, a real dry, powdery snow. High temperature in the teens. That's it on Thursday, and going down to 3 as we clear out on Thursday night. It's not a big storm by any means on Thursday, but it should bring some small accumulations of that light, dry, powdery snow. We, of course, will keep you up to date. The storm still has a long way to go. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show is coming right back. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Here's a look at your morning headlines. Over 1,000 people now hospitalized throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, according to the St. Louis Metropolitan Pandemic Task Force. Some of the highest numbers we've seen throughout the pandemic are happening right now, at least when it comes to hospitalizations. The death toll has not been there as it was, though. That's the only sliver of hope right now, is the fact that it's not. Latest averaging was about 10 deaths, just under 10 deaths a day, which is far lower than the numbers we've had before when you had 1,000 people hospitalized. So hopefully some part of good news from that standpoint is coming there. But getting tested has become a major problem. Sites all over the area yesterday overrun by hundreds of people in their cars, lined up trying to get testing where they couldn't get in. Not everybody could get in to get tested. It has been difficult. We'll continue to follow that for you here, not only on radio, but on fox2now.com, where we continue to bring people the ideas. Of course, some terrific shots from Bombery Automotive Group Skyfox as well, just giving people an idea of what these lines look like and what to expect if you go get tested. There was a major fire this morning in Lincoln County out in Winfield. House pretty much collapsing. It was a house, right, Chris?
Yeah.
No injuries reported at last check, though, right?
That's right, as far as I know.
Yeah, there was also another fire that damaged the South St. Louis home yesterday. Unfortunately, a man was shot and killed Monday afternoon in South St. Louis as well. And there was another home on fire. Lots of home fires in Pine Lawn on Tuesday morning. And I know Raising Cane's is very good, but you got to stay away until they're open. Somebody crashed their car in the Midtown Raising Cane's Tuesday morning. Fortunately, I don't think there were any serious injuries, but there was a car inside of Raising Cane's early this morning, it was not Eric after one of his band practices. We've also got a situation where congrats to the O'Fallon, Illinois High School Marching Panthers. They were supposed to perform at the Rose Bowl last year. COVID ended that. This year they got to go and perform. They got back yesterday after having to wait again an extra day to get back. And winning Powerball, well, it's up to $540 million now. Only three $1 million tickets were chosen, so that means it goes much higher by Wednesday night. Let's look at your morning headlines. I'm Vic Faust.
The Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show with Eric Johnson, Chris Knight. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. If you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 636-695-2915. Appreciate you joining us. You can also jump in on Facebook at 100.7 The Viper. We love it when you share the show as well. Love it when you're interactive as well. It's the best interactive comment line anywhere in the area. Also, you can jump in at viperrocks.com, where we have people jumping in all the time. Got to give some credit to our listeners as well in regards to the Facebook line. If you remember yesterday, Chris brought up phrases that needed to be done away with in the year 2022. Todd Bodecker was able to incorporate two of them into one sentence or so. Guys, or Eric, that's a deep dive on Ann Wagner's hair. Maybe circle back to COVID. Deep dive, circle back, two of the phrases that should be eliminated. Todd, kudos to you. Also, one of the best movies that didn't get the acclaim that it should have, Rockstar, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I think it got some good acclaim. Yes.
Steel Dragons.
Yes.
That was the band. I knew this.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
That's why I was laughing. Yes, because I liked that movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
And Steel Dragons was the name of his rock band in Rockstar.
There's so many weird things about that movie. Like Zach Wilde was in that movie. Did you know that? The guitar player from Ozzy Osbourne. He was in that movie. Yeah. And Steel Heart, the singer, I think, was the guy from Steel Heart.
I remember Steel Heart.
And the guy that came up on stage is the singer of Slash's band of what's that other band? I can't remember. Not Creed, but whatever that other band is that he was in with Creed.
Yeah, no, I know.
Come on, man. I hate these.
Our Facebook line will probably show it up for us.
So there's some weird stuff. That was a great movie. That was it was very accurate in some ways. Now, I don't see any kid being pulled up on a national stage and saying, hey, here's
being
the
able to sing.
Yeah, it'd be like you getting me on your set and saying, I'm done with this, Eric. Come read this teleprompter. And then you're walking off the stage.
Well, those things do happen, though. A friend of mine from Michigan, Bill Panos, was at a Jake Owen concert.
Mm-hmm.
And his son, who plays the drums, is very good at playing the drums, young kid, they let him come up, and he played drums.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
At a Jake Owen concert.
Yeah.
And he did very, very well.
Yeah, so Tyler, Chris's son, basically came up on stage and played with, I think it was Godsmack, or he came up and played with Seven Dust. So he gets to do that kind of stuff all the time because they're buddies with everybody. He came up and played with Contagious. He's he's awesome. So no, that happens, but you don't just walk off the tour.
No,
is what I'm saying.
No, and, you mean at the end, after he had already.
You pull him up and you go, man, kid, you're great, and then you just kind of walk into the sunshine and you're done.
See ya,
yeah,
sucker, sayonara.
You won't be getting paid tonight.
From Kevin,
get your ramen off the tour bus.
Judas Priest also made an appearance. Kitty Jones says Snake Pit. I'm assuming that was the other
Snake.
band.
Well, Snake Pit's one of them. But what's who is the band that was Creed and they became something else? And I can't remember the name of that band right now.
Yeah, they'll come up.
Damn
with
it!
I'm sure that they will at some point in time. And some of the other headlines, we talked about it a little bit to start the show off today. And here you go, Eric. Are you ready for Flu-Rona?
The movie? What the hell is Flu-Rona? It's like a horror coming out this Halloween. Flu-Rona.
No. The first, quote, documented case. Now you can have, here we go. You can have the flu.
Yeah.
And you can have COVID at the same time.
Oh, geez.
That's
You got it going and coming, don't you?
It's called Flurona. Oh my God! The listeners are the best. You guys are. Jeannie says Flunado.
Flunado! Yes! Sharks, COVID, and the flu. I love it.
That's the funniest
And a
thing.
tornado. We'll control this population one way or another.
Flurona, the first documented.
Bring out the COVID tornado. We will have them under our thumb eventually.
Cold-a-rona flu.
This is getting ridiculous. Look.
I mean, seriously, Eric, this is I'm dead serious. I know we're having fun with it. We tried to on the show. But this is Flurona, first documented case, an unvaccinated pregnant woman in Israel. They said she has tested positive for both.
Is it a new thing, or is it just
now,
is it a party in somebody's body? Like Corona showed up and then the flu showed up and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" "Oh, not much. We're here to drink." You better watch yourself. Okay, let's just go in and drink together. What is it, a thing?
My Flurona.
I'm sorry. This is getting out of hand and ridiculous.
Kevin, that's good. That's very, very good.
It is. You know why there's so many people testing for this thing? Because so many people are trying to test for this thing.
Well,
who cares?
No, everybody is testing, and they're trying to get, and that's one of the issues. Even fully vaccinated people are testing. And, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, we have to deal with what it is. We get fully vaccinated, and you get the booster, and you still can get COVID, and you can still transmit it. Those are facts now. Those are just things that we know, and that's where people are. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. It's not, and it shouldn't be a blue issue, a red issue. Facts are facts. This is what's happening. The facts are this. In the St. Louis area, where the hospitals are overrun right now. They just are. And that's for a variety of reasons.
With what?
And 34
with broken bones?
No,
with
no.
the COVID?
COVID cases, but there's also flu cases.
Flu's in there? Okay.
And COVID cases, 34% of them now, this is the highest number we've ever had, are fully vaccinated people. Now, most...
That's a problem.
So the majority are unvaccinated people, but the majority of them are also older in age who have chosen not to get the vaccine. These are just facts.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's where you are in this.
Are they
in this
dying?
No, we're not dying at a rate. This is the lowest death rate we've had when it comes to the numbers of people who are in the hospital. That's the only good news about this. But there is a problem, as I brought up yesterday, when you have hospitals that are overrun because other people can't get in to do the things that they need to do, including cancer patients.
Again, the biggest problem with this whole thing, and I will say this 50 years from now when I write my book on Flurona era, is that they didn't have off-site medical facilities to deal with only Corona. Not Flurona, not broken bones.
It's a lot more difficult, Eric.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Where
you trucked in thousands of beds from the FEMA camps and then thousands of ventilators were built by General Motors and by Ford and all these other companies, and you put them in the middle of SSM. You put them in BJC. You put them in your local doctor's offices when we could have had a centralized Corona facility, and that was the biggest downfall to this entire thing, is that BJC did not have to be overrun. You could have brought them into the emergency room. You could have had a secondary ambulance take them to the whatever center.
Well, you can't get tested now. And supplies
that's
are low.
ridiculous,
And
too.
it's difficult. And I say you can't get tested. Let me repeat. It's very difficult to get tested right now. However, because my son's dealt with a lot of sickness lately, he's been tested twice in the last few months when we go to a certain urgent care, and they decide on the premises if you get a COVID shot, or I mean, if you get a COVID test or not.
Oh, is that right? Isn't that interesting? Wow. Well, that is this administration's problem. I'm sorry.
And it's worked out. Now, one time we got right in quickly, about 40 minutes. The other day, we had to wait, over 2 hours.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I missed that by just days then, because I went to get a test because we were playing at the pageant, and the pageant required a test for you to come in that joint. And it took about 2 hours to do it. But maybe 3 days later after that, testing was a complete premium. You couldn't do it. There's no way. They didn't have them, I guess. So instead of going up to QVC or to Walmart now, you have to go to Winfield. Is that what I understand? Or
QVC?
No. You don't just have to go to
CVS,
Winfield.
I'm sorry.
There's testing
Yeah.
sites all over the place, and you can try to get in line and
Oh,
set an
no.
appointment.
Hell no.
You can set an appointment for CVS, Walgreens. You can get an appointment with Total Access Urgent Care. There's other urgent cares in the area that I have used, and I call, and I have called, and find out, hey, what kind? It's just a simple, hey, what kind of a line do you have? Oh, we've got like 10 people here. It's going to be 2.5, 3 hours. Or, oh yeah, we just got one person here. You know, you
Then
better
what's the
race
point
in.
of the 14-mile lines that are snaking
I'm
around
not
all
quite
over the
sure.
place?
I'm not quite sure. But those are opportunities for people to get in there. Yeah, but if everybody was going to the urgent cares, then those would be overrun as well.
Well, it seems like that's
But you have to. It's
where
just
the
like
bottleneck
finding. It's just like
ends.
I compare it to finding a good deal. You just got to continue to go out
What's
there.
maybe that's the problem is
You've
that you have
gotta-
to go out and
yeah,
find a
you
good
do.
deal.
No, you
hey,
do.
it's Kayak for COVID.
No, it
Get
is.
online and we'll tell you where to go. I mean, seriously, look.
Drew says urgent care is booked. Most urgent care is, Drew, but there's a couple places I go to that are not. But here's another case. Somebody who I know very well, their child went to a service, went to one of these places, not an urgent care. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember. ENT. Anyway, they told this young woman who is out of college that she was not positive, but she had all the symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Then she got another test, and it showed that she was.
Wow. So it's not accurate, is what you're saying.
We get back to that whole situation.
It's just
again.
not accurate.
I think more times than not it is, but you're certainly going to have your cases where it's not.
I had the
And this was
symptoms.
the
I went and
perfect
got
one.
tested, and
And
I
this was
haven't-
the opposite way, where it said she didn't have COVID,
Right.
but she really did.
So it's kind of pointless both ways.
But she
It's a-
also
you
had,
flip
but
a
she
coin.
also had, but she also had COVID, and this one she just slept most of the time. But the overwhelming information that I get back from people who have had both is that the first time that they had COVID was worse, which would suggest that, as you like to talk about, Eric, the body knows what to do.
Yep.
When it sees
That's right.
that invading force
Yep.
when it comes back.
It's that T1 cell, baby. You can have all the antibodies in your blood that you want, but it's that T1 that comes and kills everything. It's the cold, guys.
Oh.
Hey, look, here's one
Steven
thing.
Setterfield, really quick, at-home testing. I did it last weekend.
You can't buy them.
That was also suggested to me when I went to try
Right.
to buy one.
They're gone.
They were gone.
They're
At
gone.
Walgreens and CVS, they were out.
Yep.
But it is another opportunity. Maybe you catch it at the right time.
Yeah. Oh, if you see one, get it, sell it for $50 or whatever you want to do. There's so much crap. Right now is the era of nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. Fauci, you're done. Nobody believes you anymore. No, even Drew Collins doesn't believe you. Drew Collins just wrote me a text and said, I don't even believe Fauci anymore. You guys have no authority.
Did he really?
No, he didn't. But he's about to.
Don't- I was
He's
like,
about to. Drew is about to say, yeah, that Fauci guy, he's a clown. Look, he's a clown. When Google, Twitter, and YouTube ban the guy that invented the mRNA vaccine and says, don't take this thing.
Dr. Malone.
Dr. Malone.
Just let people know Dr. Malone is anti-vaccine because he thinks that it is not good for the body.
It's not good for the body.
That's what he says, and he created the mRNA vaccine. And now, because he is saying that, he is being taken off social media because he did an interview with Joe Rogan. When you say that message, Joe Rogan, obviously, 7.8 million followers, does an interview, it's going to make headways.
Joe Rogan has been
Or
more of
headlines.
an authority on COVID than anybody at the CDC, the WHO, or in the White House. Joe Rogan is the cat you listen to. Joe Rogan is the guy that said, I don't know about this Look, even our little militant midget friend that used to be here, ivermectin. That was the first time I ever heard of ivermectin, and people are using ivermectin to treat this thing and apparently having results with it. Joe Rogan has this cat on who invented the platform for the COVID vaccine. And he comes on to Laura Ingraham last night, and he goes, no, he wasn't even talking about that last night. But he says, don't take this thing. We don't know what this technology really does to the human body, that it has inflammation properties. It causes the heart inflammation. These boosters are ridiculous, and they shut him down. They ban him. You have to have there is a serious problem with what's going on in this country right now when the guy that invents the technology that you're using to get everybody vaccinated
It's
says,
certainly-
don't take
it's
this.
certainly worth a conversation, to say the least, because if anybody hears that, it's like, oh, really? Or at least I'm like, oh, wow. It is interesting. There's a lot of things going on. I mean,
yes,
I've got a friend that's getting ready to leave the country, fully vaccinated, booster. He said Quest Labs is open as well for people to try to get a test. That's another opportunity.
Right.
But he said without a negative test, within 48 hours of arrival, because he's getting ready to go to the British Virgin Islands, they're not letting him get on the yacht, this catamaran that he had rented for this vacation. Just because
wow.
you're fully vaccinated does not mean you can even go into the country or go into the British Virgin Islands. So now you can be fully vaccinated with booster, but you still have to now prove with a test that you don't have COVID.
So your Vax card means nothing anymore.
It means nothing.
Yeah. So you can't even go.
Well, I shouldn't say it means nothing. It means that you have to have it in addition to,
right?
Which is just fascinating that all of these things are happening now. But this is a reality that we're living in. So he says he's headed over to O'Fallon to get the full-blown PCR. And then he's going to have to do 2 more rapid tests this week just to go on this vacation that he's been looking forward to for so long.
It's unbelievable. How many baseball games, football games, hockey games, basketball games have been canceled this year with teams that are fully vaccinated?
Oh, it's happening all over the place.
I mean,
not
seriously.
Not in the NFL, NBA.
NFL doesn't
because
care so
every
much.
Superstar in the NFL that's testing positive was not fully vaccinated.
Exactly. Does Aaron Rodgers look like a genius 5 years from now when this heart inflammation thing starts to pop up all over the place and these guys are fine?
He might if it does.
Does he look like a guy that's like, look, I feel real sorry
But I
for
can
these
tell you
guys
this, nobody
that did
cares.
this?
Nobody cares about it anymore.
No, they don't.
They just don't.
They don't.
I mean, you might have some people here and some people there, but all the people are talking about Aaron Rodgers now is how the Packers are probably going to
win the Super Bowl
or go to the Super Bowl, and how he's the MVP
with a broken foot,
and how his teammates love him.
Yes.
And it's not about, oh, he put us in a bad situation because that's forgotten.
Yep.
It's totally
forgotten.
That's kind of how it
Look,
goes.
here's the deal. The worst sickness that I had during this last 2 years was a cold, a legitimate cold. I was down and out. Wasn't COVID. It was a cold. I had the sniffles. I had
Are you
headaches.
sure?
Positive. I
Because we're
tested.
convinced you had COVID.
I've had it at least 3 times.
Okay.
Vic, I'm not playing with you, buddy. I have literally backdated once. Yeah, that had to be COVID.
Oh, no.
Then the second one, I lost my smell and my taste. Definitely COVID. No doubt about that one. Then about 5 months ago, I had the same symptoms as that Delta thing, the burning kind of chest. I didn't come in here. I was gone. And
you sure that wasn't from the fireball?
Well, I'm not totally sure that that's not what killed it.
Chris said you do the old shots of Goldschlager.
The real gold? You can't even drink that anymore. You got to save the gold pieces in it. For real.
Scott Fawn says, hey, Vic, tell your buddy he can come to Van Buren and drink Natty Light on a John boat with absolutely no test at all.
Man.
He might take you up on that someday, Scott. But the British Virgin Islands, this awesome catamaran, I don't know. Is it worth all the testing? To some, it may not be.
And I got a ski trip coming up here pretty soon.
Cindy says, give it 10 to 15 years. You'll see the results of this shot in the end. Ginny says, Eric, relax. You just had heartburn.
Maybe.
Buddy.
But that heartburn sucked worse than any COVID that I've ever had.
You're not getting any younger. So that's what happened.
Maybe look, I keep my body so impervious to viruses. It's just no virus wants to live inside of me.
Yeah, that's right. You go and kick a field goal every year at the Wentzville football field.
I know.
To make yourself feel
better about myself.
and you've got a good leg for your age. You do.
I put a 50-yarder through there.
They better not give you one of those sweepstakes opportunities at a football game.
Punt, pass, and kick?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
you may
dude.
come home with the grand prize.
Watch me throw a ball over those mountains.
I will. I'll give it to you. But I can tell you this situation, more schools also jumping on now with virtual learning or keeping mask. Not late last night, but late in the day yesterday, Lindbergh also said they were not going to do their mask optional situation anymore. Now kids were being forced to continue to wear the mask where you're in the situation that you are, because it's not just getting COVID. It's also the quarantine aspect of it. And it's also the close contact situation as well that's happening.
I mean,
So,
isn't this good news? Don't you feel good, guys?
if
It's
you study the virus,
fantastic.
many people who've actually studied it are
Yes.
happy because it's proven
Yes.
to be, as we said, it's not as lethal, but it's more transmissible, which means you would think that it's going to go through and we become immune.
There's a thunderstorm coming through. You see it coming. That was the first round of COVID. And then all of a sudden it gets over your head and boom, you don't know what to do. You run for the basement. You wait for it. You wait for it. And then before you know it, that thunderstorm has moved through the area and you come out and things are dripping and the rain subsides. That's what's happening. In my opinion, COVID is the back end of this thunderstorm. You still have COVID. It's less lethal. It's more transmissible. It's more available, but you're not going to die from this thing anymore, apparently.
But I know, but we're still as a society taking it more serious. Chris asked me why we were separated on the newscast last night.
Good question.
So
good question.
We were separated. Yeah. So Fox 2, because we're trying to be cognizant of everybody's opinions and feelings and how we're separating from
what's
each
the
other.
opinion up there right now?
No, we're just trying to be as safe as possible. So, so that's Chris at that. So if people notice that as well, on Fox 2, we're sitting apart from each other.
Are people afraid still?
Some are, some aren't. It's just like society. That's what you do. So since, you get asked.
How far
about
apart
that.
are you guys?
We have a big desk.
Yeah.
And tune in to Fox 2 tonight at 5 and 9 and watch, and you'll see. See how I did that?
Good job.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe over 6 feet.
How's that look on the camera? I mean, you get a chance to look. It looks a little weird over there.
It looks fine.
Really?
No. Joe says, I believe that the lack of test does more to hysteria than actual sickness.
Good point. Such a good point. It's the mental aspect of this thing more than it is the physical. It's the mental aspect of this thing. Isn't that right, Chris? Don't you? Chris doesn't get too worked up about anything, but do you? It's more. Yeah. It's like a ghost.
Chris
Vic.
does privately. He's just not talking about it.
No, he doesn't. No, he's.
I saw him get very concerned with COVID at first, and he got it. He was concerned.
Were you?
Yes, he was. I'm speaking for Chris.
It is concerning that a virus like COVID is running around, but I mean, I'm not like going to get shot by no means.
Would you be nervous about it if you knew the truth about COVID? Seriously, if the media came out and wasn't so hyper,
what do you mean if we knew the truth? Like it's almost like you're saying we're hiding things.
I feel like I just reported the truth.
You feel the key word.
In the last 10 minutes, I feel like if it was like, Eric, I need to know the truth about this COVID. How do you feel about it? I'll go, okay. It seems like when it came through, it was really affecting the lower, respiratory system. It was putting people in the hospital. It was bad. Then it kind of modulated. We heard this thing coming from South Africa. It seems like that this variant is the dominant one, and it doesn't really do much to put you in the hospital or kill you anymore. And I think that if you're healthy and you don't smoke and you have no comorbidities and you maybe got the vaccination, not booster after booster, but just vaccinated, you're okay. Don't worry about it anymore. Don't you think if the media actually said something like that, you wouldn't feel like you were living in a haunted house and looking around every corner about, oh my God, the ghost is going to get me?
Yeah, maybe. And we'll continue.
I think it is. I think this is a psychosis. It's a public psychosis where we're all afraid of the same things. We're all afraid. We're all nervous about, am I going to get this thing? And then when you get it, you're like, that wasn't really that bad. So that's my own 2 cents. I don't want to go, and I'm not a doctor. I'm nothing. But that's just how I feel about it. That's how I might talk to my son. Say, man, don't worry about it so much.
Well, there you go. Hey, when we come back, we'll continue to talk about that. We'll take your calls, 636-695-2915, open phone lines. We'll get to your calls, your questions on Facebook as well, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show, please. We love it when you do. Also, you can catch us at viperrocks.com. A Missouri representative who served Lake St. Louis, O'Fallon, Dardine Prairie, Wentzville, is resigning. We'll tell you why. He just made that announcement this morning. Eric, I told you I didn't do anything really over break. I'll tell you what one of the best things I did with my kids was when we come back.
Can't wait.
You want one? Yeah, and I'll tell you why. And
Okay.
I'll have some advice about it as well. Plus, we'll continue this talk. You got it. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. By the way, we're going to have Donald back on the show. Remember Donald?
Yeah. Oh, Donald? I'm not going to do it. We come across sounding like I'm Irish or something.
Yeah, Donald is definitely not Irish. Donald Chung. He is not Irish. But he'll be back on the show as well. Lots of big things in store for 2022. You're listening to The Edge. Back with more right after this.
I love these guys. They make funny with their mouths.
The Edge Morning Show.
Dirty rugs get replaced cheap.
Get your home ready for the holidays and the new year with a visit to Contractors Flooring Supply and replace those dirty rugs with brand name flooring at dirt cheap prices. Contractors Flooring Supply is your U.S. Cortec waterproof flooring wholesaler, Mohawk and Dreamweaver direct carpet broker. Contractors Flooring Supply at the shops in Warrenton next to the new License Bureau.
Dirty rugs get replaced cheap.
Everyone always talks about magic during the holidays. Magic, as in objects miraculously appearing at your front door because you had them delivered through the Home Depot app. Magic, as in predicting the future, knowing what a product will be like just by reading our customer reviews. This may all feel like magic, but it isn't. It's just good old-fashioned cutting-edge technology. Make the holidays yours with a little help from the Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
Travers Automotive and RV grand opening in Wentzville across the highway from the GM plant is happening right now. We have a selection of over 1,000 new late model cars and trucks with new vehicles arriving daily. Shop from all makes, all models with financing for everyone. Looking for an RV? We also have over 200 travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes from Mesa Ridge, Open Range, KZ, Winnebago, Dutchman, and a great selection of used RVs. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or RV, make Travers Automotive RV your one-stop destination. Located off Highway 70 at the Highway A exit.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Aw. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
Hi, this is Curtis Marks. I'm the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Now that things are back open, the vaccines are out, we are ready to get back to work. The kids are home, and I'm sure you're ready to go back to work, too. We are hiring all positions. We are looking for everyone and anyone that wants to make life better for themselves, and we want you now. CompleteAB.com is where you apply. CompleteAB.com. Join the complete experience. No more sitting at home. Let's get back to work. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
It's the Home and Auto Bundle Extravafesta Save-a-thon, the annual year-long event where you could save big by bundling Home and Auto with Progressive. So big that we're kicking things off with fireworks, a monster truck battle, a fighter jet flyover, and it wouldn't be a party without the Home and Auto Bundle Extravafesta Save-a-thon dancers. You can't really hear them, but trust us, they are working it. So come for the fun and stay for the savings. Only at Progressive's Home and Auto Bundle Extravafesta Save-a-thon. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. We're 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Now, back to The Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight. I'm Vic Faust, Fox 2. Hope everybody's doing pretty darn well today. It's Tuesday, January 4th, 9:32. Man, oh man, it's already 2022. People getting ready for the year, putting everything in line. Hey, guess what and I talked about this. I would get into it. Eric, when's the last time you saw a movie?
Like Netflix or
No, actually gone and watched a movie.
I think I went with my son 3 or 4 months ago, or maybe 5.
How old's your son again?
He's 26.
That's pretty. So you still go to movies with your son, and he's 26.
Well, everybody likes a movie.
No, I think
we don't want to be in our rooms, eating our own popcorn. We want to go spend the big bucks once in a while.
Okay, do you remember what that movie was?
It was the Avengers one, with the Chinese kind of the martial art one. I can't remember what the name of it was. I can't remember, but yeah, it was Marvel Comics something.
Okay, I went to an incredible movie,
The Incredibles, like the cartoon.
And if you haven't seen it, you should. It was one of the best things I did over break. By far, because I did it with my son, and we went and saw American Underdog.
I want to see that. Only people in St. Louis will appreciate it.
I think people around the country will appreciate it, but they'll appreciate it more in St. Louis.
I heard it would be. I said, was it a good
movie? I fought
movie?
back tears twice, and I'm like, I'm not like an overly emotional guy.
They said it was a Lifetime type of movie, like a Hallmark type of movie.
Yeah,
that's what they said it was like.
But the best part about it, when you hear Kurt Warner talk about how it was like almost 100% like real, because Hollywood movies can tend to be a little dramatic. Do you remember one of my favorite movies of all time was Hoosiers? Do you remember Hoosiers?
Yeah, that was
Gene
great.
Hackman was the head coach. Well, the star of the movie, or the basketball player in the movie, Jimmy Chitwood. I met the real life Jimmy Chitwood, and I did an interview with him. One of my first TV jobs in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, how much of the movie was actually 100% real?
Right.
And he goes, well, there were bits and pieces that were true, but he's like, there was a lot of Hollywood that made up that wasn't true. He's like, but the last shot was true. We upset the major team, the large school team from Indianapolis. And and they ran the play. He's like, that was all true. It was real. It was shocking. It was amazing what we did. However, in the movie Hoosiers,
2 hours.
The town hated the coach, Gene Hackman, and then he ended up winning their trust over. In the real life situation, everybody loved the coach, but then somebody came in, got rid of the coach, brought another coach in that wasn't good, brought the real coach back, and then they went on to win the state title.
Okay.
That's what happened in the real movie. So anyway, when you talk about what's real and what's not when it comes to Hollywood, when Kurt Warner says, yeah, most of that movie's real, and then you watch it play out, and just arguably the greatest story in NFL history, loved the movie. Like I said, fought back tears twice, loved it. And then I have a son who's a quarterback and was actually engaged, because a lot of younger kids, they just don't love movies.
Right.
They don't. Not like I did. Not like we did. Our
because
generation. Because you can watch everything at your phone. And
yes.
It's just a different.
TikTok's 15 seconds. It's not 3 hours.
And he was engaged and asking me questions. And even him being a junior in high school, I could see how amazed he was with the questions he was asking.
Yeah.
Now, Hollywood's not giving it a lot of buzz because it can be considered to be a faith-based movie, and we know that Hollywood does not like faith-based movies, even when they're bringing money in. It's just a fact.
Yep.
But it was the highest grossing movie last weekend.
Yep.
In a holiday weekend.
Yep.
So I was
know why? Because people are looking for wholesome stuff. They're looking for things that are wholesome, that make their life a little better. Man, I'll tell you what about Kurt Warner. He was the greatest of all time, and I'll tell you why.
Greatest of all time what?
Quarterback in the
Okay.
NFL. I'm sorry. I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to have to stop you, and he was my favorite player, but I'll let you finish.
Okay. I have such a weird perspective on Kurt Warner because I was living in Seattle, Washington, and at that time I left football, but I had an opportunity to go play semi-pro football for the Puget Sound Jets and the Snohomish Vikings. So it was semi-pro. And at that time, Kurt Warner was riding the bench behind Trent Green, a guy that should have been a good quarterback in the NFL.
Who?
Trent Green.
Trent Green shouldn't have been. Trent Green was.
He was an okay quarterback.
No.
He was better than Neil Lomax.
Eric. Trent Green was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL when he came in from Washington. He was set up beautifully.
Okay.
He was a damn good quarterback.
He was an okay quarterback.
Oh my God,
He was an okay quarterback. He was an okay.
And he went on to be pretty good with the Chiefs after his devastating knee injury.
He was okay. And I loved the Rams, and I loved that St. Louis had a team. But I was a Seahawk fan because I was living in Seattle at the time. And all of a sudden, this kid comes in off the bench, Kurt Warner, and I saw him, Vic. And this is sports talk radio, so if you go in and tune out, fine.
No, we don't want people to tune out, Eric.
Right, but I
I
watched him in his first game. I go, man, that guy sees the field really quick.
He had an amazing first game. They beat the Ravens, who were
I've never seen
defenses.
I've never seen a quarterback check down that fast and get the ball out of his hand that fast. Like, God dang, this is a backup. And all of a sudden, the greatest show on turf kind of started forming in front of your eyes. And I looked at St. Louis. I go, what's going on here? And then I researched him that he was throwing groceries months before this. I go, what? Where'd this guy come from?
That's why it's the greatest story in NFL history.
It is.
I've said it before. Steve Sable of NFL Films, his dad created it. I had talked to him. I met him when I was doing an interview, and he said it was the greatest story in NFL history. And when you watch the movie, and yes, it can be more of a faith-based movie, but it shows you how much do you want to dream? What are you willing to do? How long can you go? How long can you hang in there? What are you willing to sacrifice to make that happen? And all along, just being a good man or a good woman in what you're doing.
Yes.
And to see that, literally go from your stocking shorts in a grocery store to, 3-4 years later.
Yeah.
You're the MVP.
Yes.
Not just making an NFL.
Yeah.
You're the starting quarterback on an Super Bowl champ. You're the MVP of the season, MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You win the Super Bowl, and then you go on to have a Hall of Fame career.
With Hall of Fame people behind you, with Marshall Faulk, with Isaac Bruce, with Torrey Holt, and then you had like the Pages of the world. Just an amazing team.
But it was huge for St. Louis because of what he was here in the community as well. And people know his faith aspect because Kurt is real.
Yes.
And so many times in life, you'll hear people talk.
He's wholesome.
Game,
There's something wholesome about him.
But they don't live it.
Yes, and that's why.
And he has lived it his entire. He had lived it his entire time from St. Louis and beyond. So in that movie, when I saw my son asking these questions, like, "Oh my God, how does this even happen? What? Are you kidding me? This even happened?" And this was the aspect. He didn't want to go to the Arena League because
he did go to the Arena League.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
He didn't want to go. He thought it was a joke.
It is a joke, but it trained him.
Because you had to get the ball out
so fast.
And then when he showed up in the NFL, people were like,
how is that? Yes, I was. I didn't know he went to the Arena League. I was like, this kid looks like he's playing in his backyard with a bunch of friends. And I kept thinking to myself as time went on, Vic, why don't we go scour the Arena League and see if there's any more of these guys that get the ball and get it out of their hand quickly? They never did that.
Here's the other thing, too. Joe Patterson says, agree or not, Mike Martz, the offensive coordinator, should be credited with Kurt's success.
Great point.
Yeah, he did as an offensive coordinator. But Mike Martz was also the guy that ran him out of town. Mike Martz was also the guy that ran the Rams into the ground because he could have only dreamed of being what Dick Vermeil was because of his pride.
Because of Dick Vermeil's the way that he would. Look, there's something about a coach.
Some guys are they're the master scientist in the lab creating the plays. That was Mike Martz, genius offensive coordinator.
Yes.
And the other aspect of why this movie was so great, too, from a St. Louis perspective, you had Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame, Orlando Pace, Hall of Fame, Isaac Bruce, Hall of Fame.
That
Marshall
offense, if
Faulk,
you go,
Hall of Fame. And I believe Torrey Holt will be there. You're talking about 5 guys from the same freaking offense. It could be, and Dick Vermeil, the head coach, going in to the Hall of Fame. It's a great time in St.
I didn't
Louis
see
history,
the movie, and maybe you can.
And the message that the movie sends, and not only that, but the movie was more not about football, but Kurt meeting Brenda and being willing to take on kids, and because she had been divorced, and special needs kid who was blind.
Yep.
And jump into all of that and be broke and go through hell to sacrifice for what could be there because it was a dream that you wanted to do.
Yep.
And not just to make the money, but to do what you love. So blew me away. That was the best thing that I did. I know it was a long story, but it is such a huge story in St. Louis. And it still is because of that movie.
No, I think there's life lesson.
I can't recommend a movie more than going and watching that.
I think there's life lesson after life. And I haven't even seen the movie. I just know his story. But it's like the Dick Vermeil aspect of that. I don't think Dick Vermeil was a fantastic coach. I think he was a fantastic motivator. No, I think that I don't think
that motivation is part of coaching.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
it's
that's
like you had
part of
Mike
your
Marks,
coaching.
who was kind of the strategy behind it. Then you have the Dick Vermeil, who would cry in the
Mike
locker
Marks
room.
Was the X's and O's of the offense.
Correct.
But their defense was fantastic.
And that was
as well.
good. Well, you're right.
Eric, their defense
Well,
was
wait a
top
minute.
6 defense that season.
What was the joke with the Rams? They were great, but they had to score 60 points because the defense was going to give up 58
maybe in
points.
the end days, but not the Super Bowl year.
Right. Well, that they by 2 yards in the Tennessee game. Remember that? They were that good. They were good enough to win.
From Joe Patterson, and the Brenda and Kurt Warner Foundation still benefits the St. Louis area. I mean, that it was just an amazing time in St. Louis, and that's why. Yeah, Glenn Thompson says great flick.
I got to see it.
Yeah, you'll be happy.
I got to see it. I can't believe I haven't seen it yet.
Just to think about what could happen. I mean, this was a guy too that didn't even play at Northern Iowa really until his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just it just mind-boggling. So that's what it was. It was great to do that with my son. However, here we go. Once again, you're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Vic Faust. You're going to continue to hear about it, and we've been talking about it today as well, and it's unfortunate, but
Trent Green wasn't very good anyway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
I have to put that out there.
If you go back, Eric, your homework, go look up Trent Green's stats.
Go look up Leo Lomax's stats.
No, let me finish. From the year right before he came to St. Louis, and look how good he was compared to other quarterbacks.
I know.
You'll be shocked.
I know.
Of course, Trent
He wasn't
Green,
special.
And Trent Green was not only a good quarterback, he was another really good guy, and he never got selfish of anything that Kurt Warner did. And then he went on to Kansas City.
Sure, he did. I know.
And of course, Trent Green, who went
in
to
those four Super Bowls he
Vianney,
won at Kansas City, were amazing.
And he went to Vianney High School, and then of course on to Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana scorched us with Trent Green when I was a freshman. We went and played at Indiana, and Trent Green just absolutely lit us up. But anyway, that's another story. By the way, Joe Patterson, Rodney Harrison is still hated because Rodney Harrison had for the Patriots in the Chargers in the preseason game, had a dirty hit on Trent Green in a preseason game, which took him out. But everything happens for a reason.
Sure does.
And Michelle says Kurt put his faith in God, was granted his dream as he believes in the power of your faith, and still today he's conveying that message. So, Mahomes last weekend in Kansas City finally beat Trent Green's records. I'm telling you, Trent, and he wasn't in Kansas City that long.
Yeah. Kansas City has, except for Joe Montana going there for a few years, Kansas City, I don't think it's been a huge quarterback town except for Mahomes lately. But again, that whole team back, we can move on. But it's like Dick Vermeil he's a motivator. It's someone you wanted to play for. And that's what I always talk to John Parker about. John Parker was a football coach. You want your team to come out and say, I'm going to win for you. Not come on and just kind of milly-mel around and just be you. That's what a coach does.
Yeah, but
you want to play for him.
Yeah, but it's not just that, but a coach also puts people in the right situations to have success. It's not just about getting people to run through a wall, because the mental toughness aspect of it, how many times will you run through that wall? Then you got to have the actual X's and O's aspect and putting people where they belong.
Yeah.
which is why that whole situation worked very, very well. We got about, 6-7 minutes left there. Once again, if you're trying to line up or go get tested, we were talking about this. I got another text about it, which is why I bring it up. You can go to fox2now.com, look for, you can try to go to testing sites from a COVID standpoint. And let's see over there. Then, of course, if you can't get in there, you just got to continue to find. We were talking about it earlier. Find spots, clinics, call ahead, see what you can do to try to find a place to get in and test.
Man, this Eric, not to change the subject on you, but I'm on Fox News right now. This Eric Adams guy is the mayor of New York City. He's going to be a rock star. I'm predicting that right now. He just scolded the big banks in New York for letting people work from home, remote working, because they're like, you can't run a city from people working at home. You need these people to come back.
Did you say that just came out?
It just came out.
I didn't see that
And
yet.
this guy is going to bring the axe down on crime in New York. I can feel it.
Trying.
I can feel it, man. This cat, we need him. I wish we could trade to Shara for this guy in St. Louis. Man, come to St. Louis for a while and run this place. He looks like he is going to be a great mayor. There's a few people in the Democratic Party right now that I'm really interested in. Joe Manchin, obviously, and Eric Adams. I can't wait to see how these guys,
because they've gone against
because they said the right
Democrats,
things.
in your opinion.
In reality, these are guys that said, I'm not going to have
But there are also Democrats who can't stand them.
How can you not stand a mayor that says, we're going to beat crime? We're going to destroy crime. If you're a criminal, we're coming after you. Doesn't matter what we do from this point forward, social engineering, whatever it is, but from that point, we're going to come after you as far as crime
Well,
goes.
I do see Eric Adams getting a lot of credibility and praise in a lot of circles because he said, listen, we can have strong policing, but also do it in the right way so that people of color are not afraid of what's happening. He's like, but don't think for a second that we're not going to have policing in the New
They're
York
going to have
area.
plain clothes policing.
So
these guys are going to
that's-
be like
that's
ghosts
That's
finding
what
these
he
guys.
has been
It's
saying.
going to be amazing. It's going to be fun to watch a mayor who's a Democrat, by the way. I think he was a Republican at one time.
Who?
Eric Adams. He was a Republican, and then he became a Democrat.
I never heard that.
I'll do the research, and I'll try to find out for you.
That's the research after you find out that Trent Green was a good quarterback, not just
I
an
didn't say he
average
was a
quarterback.
bad quarterback.
No, you said he was an average quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him for my team.
No. After you realize why,
when you're an 8-8 quarterback, you're not a great quarterback.
When his knee went out, why everybody in St. Louis was freaking out because that was the year that St. Louis was going to turn things around when they put all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Okay.
So after you do your Trent Green research, then you can go check out Eric Adams. Is that all right?
I feel as a bass player, I can judge other bass players. How about that? As a bass player, I can judge other bass players. I was a quarterback.
My God, you were no NFL quarterback.
I was not I didn't say I was an NFL, but I feel like I can judge other bass players being a bass player, right? No, I would never try to judge a lineman.
From the Facebook, he threw for over 22,000 yards in Kansas City.
That's
And
great.
you're trying to say he was an average quarterback. And that was post-knee surgery.
How many Super Bowl rings you got on these fingers?
That doesn't mean anything. Dan
It
Marino.
does mean everything.
Really? Dan Marino was the best true quarterback I ever saw play, and he doesn't have one because it doesn't matter. Tom Brady would have never had one had he not had Bill Belichick and the team around him.
You know, the first Super Bowl I was
That's why the Bucs aren't going to win a Super Bowl this year because he doesn't have the pieces around
Let me
him.
hold on.
Because the Bucs won the Super Bowl.
No, when he had all the pieces.
Let me tell you something.
Well,
Chris, you just came in and you're like,
I don't agree
you're
with
jumping.
that.
You don't.
I think Tom Brady's the best of all time.
No, that's not the point. What I'm saying is Tom Brady had to have pieces around him. You have to have pieces around you.
Every
to win a Super Bowl.
quarterback does.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. You take Tom Brady off any of those Pat teams and they don't win Super Bowls. Here's the deal. When I was in Seattle.
Not the first one.
When I was on air in Seattle, KJRAM Seattle, 950, I told John Clayton, Hugh Millen, Brock Heward on a NFL show the day after they won the Super Bowl. I go, this guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame. And they literally were on the ground laughing
When you
at me.
said who would be in the Hall of Fame?
Kurt Warner.
Oh.
They were on the ground laughing at me. They go, there's no way that guy's getting a coat. No way. And look what happened.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you
I
saw
know
it.
what I'm talking about, in
But
other
that
words.
has nothing to do with Trent Green.
Look, Neil Lomax was a great quarterback, but Jim Hart was the guy.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
I'm done talking about this. I'm right.
All right. Hey, Chris.
Yo.
I want to bet the $1,000 that Eric owes me on you that the Buccaneers do not win the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, Chris.
You take
Chris.
that, and you know why they're not? Because because Brady has too many injuries around him. You have to have people around you.
Chris.
Oh, sure. You have to have weapons to throw to. Absolutely.
Chris.
And people to block for you.
What?
Take that bet.
Oh, yeah, that's because it's your
Chris,
money.
take it.
Yeah. Yeah, Eric's,
I like Green Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
With a broken foot?
Because they have
Maybe.
pieces around him.
With a broken foot.
We'll see.
Right. John
We'll see.
Parker says Neil Lomax was terrible.
Patriots aren't doing bad right now, neither.
All right.
I don't know
We'll be
why
right
I
back
pick
right
on
after
Neil
this.
Lomax.
We got to get to our break. Sorry. You're listening to The Edge.
Good morning, and a special good morning to you this morning.
Be informed.
Well, who is it?
The Edge Morning Show.
You need to shop Kohl's right now. I mean, they have so many deals. I got 60% off holiday decor, so I'm set for next year. Fleece for under $20 and 60% off bedding. Even better, I used the Kohl's cash I earned from my holiday shopping and got it all in less than an hour with free store pickup. Who's ready to ring in the savings? Select styles ends December 31st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and I'll tell you what, this has been such an amazing football season so far. So many great games, so many great plays that you don't want to miss a single snap. And Mascots Bar and Grill has you covered for that. They get every single game every Sunday. They have NFL Sunday Ticket, and they've got some of the best food around. Enjoy your Sunday game day at Mascots. Play in the Bags tournament out front. Come inside, watch all the games. Keep track of all your fantasy players. It is so much fun at Mascots on a Sunday. You won't want to miss it. And if you tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, you can get that Legendary Lunch special all day long, $5 for a big old burger and fries. It is so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. Hang out every night of the week if you want. Come play rock and roll bingo, and you can win some great prizes at Mascots Bar and Grill, 4881 Mexico Road in St. Peters. Mascots, home of the Legendary Lunch Special.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TIGER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text TIGER to 42424. That's TIGER to 42424.
Hey, Brian Dawson here. Folks, Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction is a roofing company dedicated to excellence and quality. We are very familiar with working with insurance as well as uninsured roofing needs. We do room additions, small roofs, big roofs, steep roofs, flat roofs, residential and commercial. So hey, if you have any roofing or construction needs, call me, Brian Dawson.
Learn more by visiting BrianDawsonRoofing.com or call 636-465-9465. That's 465-9465.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We appreciate you joining us today. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tonight for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9. We have to get out of here. Hopefully we'll have some more better news tomorrow when it comes to everything going on. Goes around. Hopefully we'll have lower numbers today.
Sure.
With people hospitalized. Stay safe.
1,000 people in the hospitals right now.
Yeah.
1,000.
Through the 4 major systems over the St. Louis metropolitan area of 2.8 million people. So that's it. We appreciate you joining us today, guys. Have an awesome day. We'll see you, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah. Kurt Warner.
With no Trent Green.
What tie? What tie? What tie? What are you going to wear?
He's going to wear gray.
Gray?
He's feeling gray today.
What do you think?
Gray. We'll wear something like
yellow. Purple.
I don't know.
Green.
Pinkish.
How about Trent Green
Reddish.
tie? How about one for Trent Green? Wear a green tie.
Shandy's up next.